Name is Edith Chiliboy. Half the time people call me by my surname because it's one of those strange names, Chiliboy. So everywhere I go, I'm like, hey, there's Chiliboy. How you doing, Chiliboy? So I was born in Lusaka. I grew up in Lusaka. I've stayed here for my entire life. Half the time I would travel outside Lusaka just for a few days, but still come back to Lusaka because it's my home. Okay, so photography started as I love color. Half the time I'll be in black, but I love color. I love looking at people beyond what they put in front of them. I used to read a lot. Once in a while, I would read random blogs and the like. And I stumbled upon photography work. It was a magazine called Wheat's Business School. And at the back of the magazine, there was a young girl she was seated and there were trees popping out saying natural born thinkers. That photo intrigued me and I started looking at more magazines, not to read this time, but to look at photographs and just to try and understand what is this thing. I was about 9 or so. And from there, everybody noticed that I was intrigued by this and I was sort of derived from it. They were like, don't go this direction, this won't earn you anything, focus on school, focus on this. So from there onwards, it stayed in me. It was hiding away and whatnot. But when I got my first phone camera, I was like, okay, fine. Half the time I'll take walks around the area and there were beautiful sunsets. I'm like, I'm going to preserve this for myself. And it started from there, sunsets. Every time I'm out for a walk, I would take sunset pictures, silhouette pictures of random things, and it built from there. And I stumbled upon flowers. I love flowers, so it started like, if I can't keep a flower in my room because my ancestor is allergic, so I would find a way of keeping them for myself. And then as years went by, it sort of stayed in me hidden, but I would still go back to taking pictures of nature and random artifacts and everything I have in my hands. So from there it go on, I kept on practicing. After class, I was a business student, so after class I would find a way of relaxing just by taking pictures of random things. And from there I got a camera, DSLR, and half the time my screen would be blank and I wouldn't know what to do with it. Jumped onto YouTube, got a few things from there and started learning, teaching myself and practicing shooting flowers. But then I developed a keen interest on people's views, how people feel, how people find environments. At first, when I pitched that idea to my family, it was something odd and they shut it out. They're like, okay, fine, you can't do this until probably, let's say, you graduate from school. So everything for me was shut and I focused on school. I graduated, I started working in a firm and that sort of made me feel enclosed. And I was like, okay, fine, you know what, I am leaving this place. And a friend of mine spotted my photography work and his cousin runs a media company and he was like, go there and they'll definitely help you out. I went there, did some interviews, they saw my pictures and they were like, we can take you in on an internship basis. And from there I started learning more studio work, studio lighting. It was challenging in a way because it was a new environment. These were people who've been there for a really long time. Let's say they've been in the practice for like 5-6 years. And I was there, this whole new world, but I knew what I wanted to see. So it sort of grew on me. And sometimes I'll be told, you're not supposed to do that, don't do this. But then I wanted a different direction and they also want a different direction, so I'll be there trying to balance both of them. Half the time, my first assignment was scary because I had to go shoot a funeral.
Oh my God.
I had to go shoot a funeral and I didn't have the uniform, but that I found a comfort spot in there as a way of expressing myself, and yeah, I developed from there. That's how it grew on. My practice now it was commercial. It's more on the commercial side, but I am trying to tap into my artistic weirdness, as people say. Half the time I show people what I see and they go like, what were you thinking? This is not what it's supposed to be. But when I show other people, they're like, this is actually great. It's making me feel a certain type of way. And I was like, if I can make people feel what I'm feeling through an image, then that's a very great communication point. I discovered I'm into backs and people's plain selves, the stripped nakedness. That's what I'm up for. Half the time I won't have people willing, but I would definitely call in my best friend. She's very helpful. She'll be like, oh, you want to do this? Yay, I'm up for it. Let's do it. And I'm like, I don't have a studio space. Yeah, we'll just do it in the chicken run or something. Stories of Kalingalinga, I had so much. I was speaking to a lot of people. I was getting different stories, different background information, but then I realized it's leaning on one thing, and that's people's hands. Kalingalinga was built mainly in people's hands, and there's a lot of talent there when it comes to sculpturing and woodworks and the like. So from there I realized people's hands have a certain vibe to them that I'm just looking at now in a different way, and that's drawing me in. I'm fascinated by what a human's hands can do. Yes, there are people without hands, but creating something from scratch that you envision using your hands is more like God's handwriting, and it sort of draws from there. Except the whole drawing, people will consider using your hands for drawing or painting, but the people who are using their hands to create furniture, to create livelihood, to provide for their families and the like.